Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. We are from Group 13. We will present about COVID-19 and the Malaysian economy.
Assalamualaikum. My name is FATIHA NAJWA binti ROSLAN and my matrix number is A18Y960. So what I have learned from this course is about international trades that happen in Malaysia, monetary policies, agriculture and some of information from GROUP7. So what I like the most is about Malaysian SUSHMITA in the intermediate income trap because I never knew about it before. Thank you.
My name is binti MAZLAN. I like to study this subject because I gain a lot of new knowledge about this history about Malaysian economy, especially about GROUP7. In addition, this subject also taught me to communicate with my peers more effectively and productively. Although there are difficulties in time management due to a certain factor, I am still able to overcome that problem. Thank you.
Hi, I am FARAHIN. I like this course because it made me feel excited to know about Malaysian economy, such as the history and the changes of the development until today.
I am AZIZAH binti KHALID. I like these courses because now I know how to get all the data and information, especially about the GDP, import and export of Malaysia and the other country.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh and salam mahabbah. My name is Mohd FIKRI FAWWAZ bin ISMAIL, number matric A181885. I like this course because it not only explains about Malaysian economy, but I can find out what is related to it like history, law, society behavior, policies, agreements between foreign countries and others. And what I like the most is the disclosure on international data by my lecturer, this course, Dr. Muhammad Shukri bin Hajinoor, which I never seen and heard before. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Siti binti I like this course because from these classes I learned about GDP ratio, and this is my first time learn about GDP ratio. From this class I also learned about official portal of GROUP7, Department of Statistics Malaysia.
Hi, my name is KHAIRUNNISA binti ZAIADI. From this class, I have learned that Malaysia is moving on the right direction. We learned from our history with the British and also did many changes to improve and strengthen our economy with IMPs and other initiatives. Overall, I like this class because it's a very interesting class, but unfortunately, the period is too short.
I am Nuri Saryanti. I like these courses because I managed to know how the economic growth from British colonization until now. Also, I like the topic about ASEAN financial crisis. That's all from me.
Hi everyone, I am SHABARIAH. I like this course because I gain more knowledge about economy global, especially economy Malaysia. I learned how to read data correctly in Department of Statistics Malaysia. I love how Dr. Shukri tried to teach everyone in my lecture. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm SUSHMITA and I like this course because Dr. Shukri just exposed us to more about economy, the global economy, especially the Korea and Malaysia. We can do the comparison between the economic situation now and the past one. And Dr. Shukri just exposed us more about how to search about the data. For example, GROUP7. I just know about GROUP7 after I take this course. Thank you.
So, let me start the presentation with when and how COVID-19 was detected in Malaysia. On the 25th January 2020, the first case of COVID-19 was detected in Malaysia. So how? We trace back to 3 Chinese nationals who previously had close contact with an infected person in Singapore. They had travelled into Malaysia via Singapore on the 24th January 2020 and they were treated at Sungai Buloh Hospital, Selangor. So the MOH quickly devised standard guidelines for the management of COVID-19 and 34 hospitals and screening centres were specifically designated in each state of Malaysia. The first Malaysian was confirmed with COVID-19 on the 4th February 2020. The 41-year-old man had recently returned from Singapore when he started to develop a fever and a cough. So he was quarantined at Sungai Buloh Hospital, Selangor. Thank you.
I will present about numbers and details of the spread COVID-19. So first, I will explain about number cases of COVID-19 in the world. For cumulative cases until 27 September 2021, total cases is 232,990,448 cases. For cumulative world days is 4,767,592 cases of death in the world.
On 16 March 2020, Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin made an official speech and officially announced the movement control order. The order include the following restrictions. First, general prohibition of mass movement and gathering across the country, including religious, sports, social, and cultural activities. To enforce this prohibition, all houses of worship and business premise would be closed, except for supermarkets, public markets, grocery stores, and convenience stores that selling everyday necessities. Second, sanction covering all Malaysian travelling abroad. For those who have just returned from overseas, they would be required to undergo a health check and a 14 days quarantine. In addition, restriction on the entry of all tourists and foreign visitors into the country. Next, closure of all kindergartens, government and private schools including daily school, boarding school, international schools, staffing centres, and other primary, secondary and pre-university institutions. This also include all public and private higher education institutions, IPTs, and skills training institute nationwide. And lastly, closure of all government and private premises except those who involved in essential service such as water, electricity, energy, telecommunication, and others. The government also set some guidelines on standard operating procedures as a precautionary measure. For resident area, only two members of the household are allowed and movement is limited to 10-kilometer radius for buying necessities. For employment, work from home ordered for non-essential sectors and services. For economic activity, restaurants are only allowed to operate for takeaway and delivery service. For house of worship, only mosque and house of worship committee members are allowed to attend a maximum of 5 people. They also have things that still not allowed, which is like social activities such as feasts, conferences, religious procession, and also cross-state movement across the country and cross-district movement for MCO area. Therefore, individuals or premise owner who disobey the SOP and MCO will be subject to a compound action of RM1,000 Malaysian.
First is impact to economic growth. In 2020, the GDP growth rate decreased by 5.6%. The same effect occurred in June. The GDP decreased by 4.4%, effect of the MCO 3.0 in May. However, this decreases is not large if compared to MCO 1.0 in April 2020. Next is impact to unemployment rate. The unemployment rate in May 2021 was 4.5% decrease slightly compared to April, which is 4.6%. In May 2020, the country recorded the highest monthly unemployment rate of 5.3%. A comparison with the same month in the previous year shows the number of unemployment this year is lower than past year because the MCO 2.0 and 3.0 implemented are not as strict as the implementation of MCO 1.0, where the government still opening up some economic sectors. Third is impact on construction industry. According to CIDB, Dato' Ahmad Asri Abdul Hamid said, it is estimated that the construction industry suffered a loss of RM11.6 billion from 18 March to 14 April 2020 when the MCO was implemented. Next, impact on international trade. In April 2020, international trade decreased by 16.4%, which exports decreased by 23.8% and imports decreased by 8.0%. This caused the trade balance to be a deficit of 3.5 billion because during MCO 1.0, almost all manufacturing and service sector operations were closed. However, in the second quarter of 2021, the country's export growth had a positive impact on international trade activities. Last but not least, impact on tourism. From January to March 2020, the country's tourism sector recorded a negative development for each market by region, which is pasaran jarak dekat or ASEAN by negative 37.3%, pasaran jarak sederhana was negative 41.4%, and pasaran jarak jauh by negative 22.5%. Because the government prohibits the entry of foreign tourists to reduce COVID-19 virus infection.
Okay, now I will explain about the economic stimulus package. First, payment of the RM200 to IPT student is a one-off payment for the student, and the student will receive the money at the end of the April 2020. A total of 1.5 million students have received this assistance. This is one of the bantuan in pelan package pelaksanaan package prihatin. Second is a national immunization program COVID-19. This is a campaign of vaccination. This vaccination program was started at 24 February 2021, and it's also known as a PIP. This program was handled by Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia. That is a KKM, and this program is under Pelan Pemulihan. Next, I will explain about economy aid package that affected the business. This will help business. First, bantuan kemudahan khas SRF. This is for COVID. For COVID, one of the economic aid package. This alternative was given to the PKS. This is available from 6 March 2020 until 31st December 2021. This is under package ransangan ekonomi prihatin. Last, GKP 4.0. GKP is a gerakan khas prihatin. It's one of the financial assistance to qualified micro, small and medium enterprise (SMEs). This is under package pemulih. This can be applied start from 15 July 2021, and the payment was given at 21 September 2021. This is a first payment, and they will get the second payment at November 2021.
So hi, I'm going to discuss about how COVID-19 affected and what sectors of business is affected by COVID-19. So, as everyone know, coronavirus disease has caused a major economic shock, and small businesses was affected, of course. And as you can see, unemployment rate increases in Malaysia, in all over the world. This is because we need to follow the rules and the measure taken by government, which is we need to shut down the country and even shut down the shop, shut down the small business to decrease the COVID-19 rate. So yes, small business affected, big companies affected, many sectors are affected actually. So here is two. I just spare two, which is tourism and small businesses. So the first industry is tourism industry. Everyone knows that tourism is one of the world's major economic sectors, and it is the third largest export category. And tourism is one of the sectors most affected by COVID-19 pandemic, impacting economics, livelihoods, public services, and opportunities on all continents. All part its value is what West value chain have been affected. So actually the tourism industry supports many jobs and provide livelihoods for many millions more of people. For example, hotels, flights, services. So now more than 1 year in Malaysia, everyone knows that since COVID-19 pandemic began to cause widespread harm and society change, employers and workers are find themselves asking how COVID-19 is affecting small business in Malaysia. So as the end of 2020, just research by Google, I searched it on Google, 41.3% of small businesses said that they were temporarily closed and 1.38% is permanently closed due to COVID-19. They just can't go on without open their business, without any income, and they still need to pay their rental and expenses. So these businesses included
type of economy or business activity that got benefit from the COVID-19. Firstly, e-commerce users. Since pandemic COVID-19, the e-commerce user can avoid direct contact and also the risk of contagion through goods. We can explore new strategies to interact with users and simplify the transaction process. Secondly, My Digital provided by Telekom Malaysia berhad is support a holistic approach that include digital connectivity such as fiber optic and 5G. It also have digital infrastructure such as cloud computing and cyber security. The last advantage from My Security is digital skill and manpower for living and business facility for citizens in interconnected country. Meanwhile, we are having pandemic COVID-19. Thirdly, demand for face mask and hand sanitizer. We should wear a face mask when in public. To prevent and control the spread of COVID-19 outbreak. The use of hand sanitizer is only required when there are no water and hand source facility. It aims to get rid of germs or bacteria found on the hand. Next, German manufacturing sector, PPE. For health worker, personal protective equipment, PPE is a very important piece of equipment to ensure that no infection occurs while treatment is given to a patient. The PPE can help to prevent microorganisms, including viruses, from contaminating hand, eyes, hair, clothing, and shoes to reduce COVID-19 infection by complying with SOP set by the NSC. Then waste subsidy program. It ensures business continuity as operational disruption in PKP state also affect the operation of supply-dependent companies and a part of the supply chain. And lastly, Perbadanan Usahawan Nasional berhad provides deferment of financing payment on the fine principal and offer a 50% rental discount for the premises for 6 months. It can help entrepreneurs to remain resilient and competitive during the COVID-19 pandemic.
So next we're going to explore the changes and advancements of technology in the era of COVID-19. Equitable access to the application of various digital infrastructures has been considered to be essential right now. The advancement of technology has played its best role in ensuring and maintaining ongoing activities without interruption. So first, distance learning. Technology has improved distance learning among students and their teachers. Many institutions started offering online classes through online platforms to ensure that the quarantine measures didn't disrupt education. Technology implemented in distance learning is the same used to enhance effective remote working. Students engaged in distance learning are getting skilled in several internet-based technologies, making them think quickly and become innovative. And next, digital and contactless payment. Now, contactless digital payments, either in the form of cards or e-wallets, are the recommended payment method to avoid spread of COVID-19. Digital payments enable people to make online purchases and payments of goods, services, and even utility payments, as well as to receive stimulus funds faster. Our government utilized this through the e-Beli Pemekasa program, which can only be claimed with e-wallet starting 17 March 2021. And the last one is telehealth. The doctors can diagnose patients through the description they give via the chat box or video conferencing and offer guidelines in real time on what it is to be done or prevented. It is an effective way made possible by technology to prevent the spread of COVID-19 and provide essential primary care to patients. Telehealth adoption by the Healthcare Administration is readily bridging the gap between patients and health system, enabling everyone, symptomatic patient especially, to interact through virtual channels with their doctors from the comfort of their home, further helping in reducing spread of the virus to mass population and the medical staff on the frontliners.
How long COVID-19 will be with us? So according to the largest COVID-19 database designed at Bloomberg, based on their new analysis, the rate of vaccination progress over 119.8 million doses of injection, given worldwide predicts the pandemic will last for another 7 years before reaching cluster immunity targets. So Malaysia will manage to get out from COVID-19 because the government is confident that the strategies outlined in the National Recovery Plan will help Malaysia out the COVID-19 crisis. And then government also made the efforts to increase the vaccination program as it can reduce the number of cases of infection as well as efforts to revive the economy. So the government also implemented movement, restriction and strict adherence to standard operating procedure SOP. What is going to be like after COVID-19 pandemic? So from a positive effect, a new financial system based on the digital economy which can minimize physical transaction, and then e-commerce market will be the main transaction medium. But from a negative effect, which is impact on economy, can be the world stocks markets are collapsing and the global economic downturn is capable of stopping some governments. And then impact on social culture, which is the use of online technology that can minimize physical contact in any business. So that's all from us. Thank you.